I have seen a lot of discussion about the recent price changes coming in 1.10, and sure, if you just look at the numbers in a vacuum, they seem pretty silly. Why increase the cost of the uppercut by 50%? Why increase the combat axe by 200%? That sounds pretty ludicrous, especially since some of these prices have been this way for a long time. But if you actually slot these new prices into their respective categories, many of these changes begin to make sense. So, the areas that saw the most price adjustment were pistols, shotguns, and consumables, and there's some other small stuff, and we'll get to that. So, for the pistols, the broad view is that the Bornheim and the packs got cheaper, and the conversion pistol and its variants got more expensive. So, let's just look at every pistol with the new price changes, and I will put the old price off to the side. One of the hottest topics is the conversion pistol doubling in price, but when you see it in this list, it starts to make sense. Previously, the conversion pistol and the Nagant were competing for the budget pick, but it seems universally agreed that the conversion was just the better pistol, it has better stats, and it has FMJ. Now with these new prices, the Nagant pistol has some breathing room as the cheapest handgun, and of course we have the hand crossbow, which is really strong, but it also needs custom ammo for maximum effectiveness, and the skill curve to use it is very sharp. Then, if you look at the Bornheims, previously they were competing with the uppercut in this $200 to $300 range, which made absolutely no sense. However, it still has its crazy rate of fire and the high bullet velocity, so there still has to be a premium for those things. Now with the cost adjustment, it is the most expensive compact ammo pistol, but the Sparks pistol and the uppercut, which are long ammo, are more valuable and therefore more expensive. Which takes us to the uppercut, arguably one of the strongest guns in the game. Given that it's basically a one-slot rifle and long ammo isn't actually that hard to find, the uppercut deserves to be the second highest premium option. This gun has plagued 5 and 6 star lobbies for so long, and I'm glad there's finally some attempt to bring it in line. Will we see a $300 range pistol? I'm not sure, but I do agree with Crytek that the uppercut and the Dolch are a cut above the rest, either for the long ammo or the rate of fire, and it makes sense to put a premium on them, and they have. The Sparks pistol is also long ammo, but it's more of a skill cannon, so at least for now, it seems like it is in a good spot. The one that hurts me the most is the price increase for the Nagant silencer, but that weapon has so much utility, especially with poison ammo, which also saw a price increase, that it feels like, yeah, this is how it should be, because it was just so strong. The hand crossbow takes knowledge and game sense, whereas the poison Nagant is just a point-and-click quiet tour around the map. The next uproar with these changes was about the Romero, so here are the shotguns, again cheapest to most expensive, and again with the previous price tag. I think I've conveyed that I don't really enjoy shotguns, but we can all agree that the Romero has the most potential to be a one-hit kill from the furthest distance. That's just down to the spread of the pellets on the Romero. So thinking back to the pistols, should the Romero really be on parity with the Nagant pistol in price? Probably not. So I think these changes better reflect the shotgun as a primary weapon, especially if you take the utility picks like the hatchet or the talon. And the same goes for the rival. It's a 2-tap killing machine, and the second I see one when I round the corner, I usually know how that fight plays out. However, it only has 2 shots before reload, so yes, it should be cheaper than the Spectre and the Slate, but better positioned somewhere in the middle from the Romero. And so again, the balance makes sense to me, but if you look at the Terminus, which saw a price reduction, the Terminus is just okay by itself and doesn't really shine unless you have some special ammo and levering or iron repeater. So yes, make the Terminus cheaper because again, there is investment elsewhere to make it very strong. And then of course the Slate, who didn't see that one coming? I mean, come on. Okay, so let's look at consumables then. The vitality shots are now more expensive, as are firebombs and the frag grenade. But again, not in a vacuum, this makes sense. The weak vitality shot definitely has more inherent value than the chaos bomb and the dynamite stick. Both of these are situational, whereas the weak vitality shot is almost always useful. Same for the firebomb. There are so many uses for it, including burning out hunters, that it's just a strong pick if you have a free slot. Also, the fact that the frag grenade used to be on parity with the Hellfire bomb just kind of blows my mind. I can't help but wonder if maybe the flash bomb should at least go up to that $70 slot, because that seems like the outlier to me. And then the one that everyone scoffs at, the combat axe with a 200% price increase to a whopping $15. But if you look at the other melee options, that checks out too. At $5, the combat axe was basically free. Hell, at $15, it's basically free, but it brings it in line with the machete. Also, it could mean Crytek is considering further changes to the combat axe, either making it a one slot or perhaps throwable with the tomahawk trait in the future. That's speculation, not confirmed anywhere, but $15 won't hurt too many banks, and those that it will, you were probably going to take free hunter weapons anyway. And then we also saw the Label Marksman and the Mosin Sniper go up in price by like 30 to 40%, and I think that's just to reflect that these variants unlock the potential to fight at almost any range. Just the other day, I was in a gunfight at Fort, and out of nowhere, my buddy got downed by a Label Marksman from 150 meters away. It's just such a different range of possibility that the iron sight doesn't give you, so I don't think people will be too sad about this change, but it was definitely needed. Overall, I can see why some people were upset, but there are some really important changes in here, and I would be curious to see the arguments as to why the conversion pistol should be the same cost as the Nagant, or why the rival should be cheaper than the Alamo. I know, change is scary, but for me, these prices better reflect the value we place on these items, and that's what currency is supposed to do anyway. Pair that with all the new ways to make hunt dollars, and this update to prices just makes sense. However, just like in the real world, there are some players that have so much money saved up that the cost of a gallon of milk or bottle of flammable liquid mean nothing. At some point, we gotta address that elephant in the room if we truly want prices to be a meaningful balance consideration. But that's it. Until the next video, goodbye.